Carla here, also known online as the Beer Babe, at Beer Babe.
My name is Mike. I am the Robin to Seacoast Beverage Labs Batman. Can be found on Twitter at @Meredith.
Hey, I'm Norman. I'm known online as the Beer Nut or Real Beer Nut on Twitter.
Hello, this is Sean Jansen from twobeerguys.com.
Brian from Seacoast Beverage Lab, and this is the Seacoast Beverage Lab podcast. Okay, we are live, everybody. What's going on? It is Brian from SeacoastBeverageLab.com and the New Hampshire Beer Book in stores 2 weeks from yesterday. And this is the Seacoast Beverage Lab podcast for Wednesday, the 4th of June, 2014. Before we kick things off, I want to give a quick toast to Rick Brews, at Rick Brews on Twitter. Today is his birthday. So shout out to you. This one's for you. And I'll kick it right off. We're talking about a big festival this time, so we got to get underway so we can get to talking about it. And I'm drinking the censors are going to go wild on this one. Hell Yes by Moat Mountain, and currently one of my favorite beers by Moat. So I'm loving it. Just cracked it open, and cheers to Moat Mountain. We will see at this festival. We'll go to Carla really quick.
Hey guys, Carla here, known online as the Beer Babe. I'm actually on site at a coat of arms in Portsmouth today, so I'm drinking an English ale, I'm drinking a Twisted Thistle. But I have not tried that Moat Mountain Hell Yes yet, and it sounds really good.
Oh, it was one of my top 5 of the ACBF. Which
that's awesome.
It was a good. I mean, it's a great Furt style, and it was good to get in between those imperial stouts. You know, you're trying to have.
Maybe I'll see if I can find it around town before I go back up.
Oh, for sure. Try Gary's on your way out if they don't close early. Momo or Mike Meredith.
Hey everybody, at Mo Meredith on Twitter. I'm going to make my Twitter private. Got a couple of complaints at the ACBF that people weren't able to access all the Mo Meredith goodness, so I'll make sure to make that change. Coming off of a pretty nasty cold, so I'm drinking a Bolthouse Strawberry Banana. It's not a beer, but I will switch over to one in a little bit. So sorry to disappoint all those.
What is that, Bolt 45? What is that?
The thing is, though, I guarantee you there's some people out there that are going to be listening to this go, Bolthouse, is that a new brewery? I haven't heard of them. And then they're going to freak out, and then they're going to find out that it's fruit juice. So
they reach the end of the internet, and it's like, damn it, he did it again.
Yeah, construction sign.
Normie, Babyface, what's up?
Hey, not much. Norman Miller, Metro West Daily News, the Beer Nut, at Real Beer Nut on Twitter, and tonight I'm drinking Boulevard Brewing Company, Love Child No. 4.
Oh, nice.
Love Child No. 2 and Love Child No. 3 were beers of the year for me, each of the years they came out, so I have really high hopes. I haven't taken the first sip, but it smells amazing.
The second you sip
What
it.
style is it, Norm?
A American Wild Ale, aged in different whiskey and bourbon barrels and wine barrels, blend of different ones aged for different amount of years and different percentage from each barrel. It's 9% ABV, and like I said, the first 2 that I drank were absolutely incredible, and this one I can't imagine being anything less than that.
The first 2 before the show? Never mind. Sean, what's up? And tough crowd. I'm out of here.
I'm Sean Jansen from twobeerguys.com, and I'm currently drinking a 18 Mile from 603 Brewery.
What? From
the can.
What? Someone got a exclusive. How's that tasting?
Happy birthday to them, right? Yesterday?
Really?
Wasn't it their second birthday yesterday? They were all over Facebook about it because it was June 3rd, 603.
Nice one.
Oh, possible.
Interesting.
I didn't see it.
First things first, before we delay, how's it taste out of the can?
Nice, fresh, and delicious.
And when is it available to us, normal people?
By Friday.
Okay, coming in hot Friday.
It'll be shipping all this week, depending upon which days the stores have deliveries. So.
Most excellent. Let us get to our guest. We're talking about the New England Brewfest this time, which is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And with us we have Executive Director of the Lincoln Woodstock Chamber of Commerce, Alyssa Gilda. How's it going, Alyssa?
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here. I am drinking. I'm not usually a big shandy fan at all, but I'm super jazzed about the grapefruit shandy from Harpoon UFO. So that's what I've got with me tonight.
Nice, the big squeeze. It was a big hit at the American Craft Beer Fest this weekend.
Yeah. it's a good one. So thank you guys again for having me. Excited to be here.
Great, and yeah, thanks for coming on because this is, I believe, Sean had turned me on to this festival as Mike and I were writing the New Hampshire Beer Book, and I went to the website, and luckily enough, it's the 10th anniversary. So, do you want to just give us a quick background on how this festival got started, and then we can kind of get into the more stuff of this year?
Yeah, definitely. We so this is our 10th year doing it, but the event actually started. It was Scott Rice, who is the owner of the Woodstock Inn Station and Brewery, and Butch kind of approached the chamber about 10, 11 years ago and said, hey, these beer festival things are just starting to catch on. We think it'd be really cool. Why not here? Why not in the Western White Mountains? And so, that's really how it started. It was as simple as that. It started out, if anybody's familiar with the Woodstock Brewery, on the other side of the street, down behind the inn, there's this dirt parking lot. And I think the first year they had maybe 5 breweries and about 250, 300 people. And really, it's just grown ever since. About 3 years later, we moved it right onto Main Street in Lincoln, so you're right on Route 112, the Kinkamongus Highway. And in 10 years, we've grown to about 33, 34 breweries on the Saturday night tasting event, and about 3,000 people. And then we've added weekend events throughout the whole weekend too. So definitely some humble beginnings, but it's been really cool to see it grow over the years. This is my 6th or 7th year being involved in the festival, so it's a lot of fun.
And it's great because a lot of beer fests are kind of spearheaded by breweries or by particular people, but it's rare. I mean, it's starting to become a lot less rare, but it was rare before to have a town's chamber of commerce kind of get involved, which really brings the whole craft beer tourism thing. You guys are way ahead of its time.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, that's just from me, going to beer fests and having towns only hosting it, but not running it. You guys are kind of doing a little bit more than just having them set up there.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's a huge benefit for our area. I mean, granted, the summertime is obviously a busy time for visitors in the White Mountains, but early June tends to be kind of just the beginning of that. So it's a huge hit. It's a huge benefit to have a couple thousand people over the weekend staying in the hotels in the area, visiting some of the restaurants and some of the cool attractions we have up there, and obviously enjoying all the different great beer that we have to offer.
It's awesome. Sean, you've been there, right? Before?
Yep, I've actually known some people who've gone for a couple years in a row, but last year was my first year attending. The weather didn't necessarily didn't make it, but there was still a couple. I mean, a large number of people there in the rain, which was nice to see that people still went.
Nice. So let's kind of dig into this thing, because it's not your typical beer fest in that it's not just a couple hours and you're out of there. If you have a whole weekend, and I strongly suggest you do, regardless if you're attending all these events, but just to kind of get the feel of Woodstock and the Lincoln area. If you go to, and the links are in the show notes for those that are watching or listening, it's nebrewfest.com. It's the letter N, the letter E, brewfest.com. And actually, Sean, you want to read the first couple of events, and then we can kind of go one by one and talk about them?
Sure. It actually starts on Friday night at 6 o'clock with a welcoming at the Woodstock Station and Brewery, and it goes into a 7 o'clock table NH beer dinner hosted by Woodstock Station and Brewery.
Is that something that happened before, Alyssa? The dinner hosted at Woodstock?
This is the second year that they're doing it, so cool. It's pretty cool. They have the whole thing is farm to table. I think they have 6. Let's see, 6. So Tuckerman's, Flying Goose, Muddy Nose, 7 Barrels, Stark, and White Birch are all going to be participating in that event, and they're going to be stationed, all station food, all paired with a beer, and there's going to be reps from each one of those breweries attending. So it's going to be a cool experience, not only just for the dinner itself, but you're also obviously going to be able to meet with people who are from that brewery, learn a little bit more about what you're eating, what you're drinking. It's definitely going to be a really fun night. There's obviously limited number of people that can come to that, so you can purchase tickets through the Woodstock Station directly, or if you're buying a Brewfest ticket, you can actually save $10 and buy your ticket for the Friday night dinner that way. So either way, you can get your tickets for that, but that's limited to, I think, about 150 people. So.
Oh, nice. I think it's definitely important to know that you can get the all access pass or just a Saturday pass to the website, so you can kind of pick which way you want to go. And it looks like the all access pass plus lodging, you have a lot of different options. And myself, Mike, and my wife booked through the all access, which gave us a free ticket when we booked a certain hotel room. So that was nice that you guys have that laid out with certain hotels and motels and such like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, and it's at Woodstock Brewery, and I'd imagine it's open now. But the outdoor bar at Woodstock Brewery is something to see if you haven't. I know Mike and I were up there in February, so it was closed. But it's really nice. I mean, when it's up and running, it's really nice.
I mean, it was only like -10 when we were there, so I mean,
they put a fire out there.
Oh yeah, so maybe they shut it down. They saw us coming.
It was a warm day.
It was actually warmer in the Grundy tank storage area than it was outside.
That's very true. But yeah, and that'll be cool. I was down at White Birch, and Bill was talking about the event as well, because you see him at a lot of New England fests, so they're excited. I don't know about Rick at Flying Goose or anybody like that, but I'm kidding. They're probably very excited.
It'll be like Rick going back to his old stomping grounds.
That's very true. He'll walk in where we cry instantly.
I think the staff at the Woodstock Brewery will cry. Just kidding. Love you, Rick.
So then that kind of ends Friday night, and
yep, and then it starts bright and early at 8 a.m. where everything from Brew You takes place at the Mountain Club on Loon. I was
going to say, Alyssa, do you want to give us a quick background on Brew You? And thanks, Sean, for reading that first one.
Yeah, that whole event, when I kind of mentioned the history about this event, and it was really, Scott and Butch that kind of brought this thing up 10, 11 years ago, and with it being the 10th anniversary, we wanted to do something different. In the past, it's always just been the Saturday night tasting event, which is obviously a lot of fun and has been really successful, but we knew we wanted to do something better this year, and we wanted to do something different. So we thought, why not kind of bring the festival back to its roots and also offer something different? As you guys all know, there's beer festivals like every weekend. You can go all the time now. So really trying to add something unique to it and different. And this whole idea of Brew You and the educational piece to it is really just kind of came from that, and another way to not only engage with casual beer lovers or home brewers or people just kind of who are really starting to get into it, but also a way to support a lot of the breweries that are participating in the event and helping out with some of the workshops and the presentations.
It's awesome, and it's rare that you see a festival again, not just with beer. I mean, after the breakfast, it comes off with a keynote from one of the greats, Peter Eggleston. So I mean, if the speech from that guy doesn't get you into beer, you should probably just head on back home, because nothing else will do it for you once that guy talks. He's awesome. And then we have Sam Adams doing it's funny because it says Seth Adams from Sam Adams. So
no relation.
No, okay. Had to ask. So yeah, you have a tasting experience. What's that?
I was joking. 14th generation granddaughter.
Wait, what? Oh boy. And then at 11, there's it's like an all-star New Hampshire beer lovers panel here, and there's a couple of them that we saw this weekend. Even John Lanzini, head brewer from Schilling, who's at American Craft Beer Fest, and he'll be on the panel along with Kirsten Neves from Tuckerman and Steve Allman from the Canterbury Ale Works. And that alone, it's Canterbury and Schilling are kind of the two breweries right now that you can only go to get their beer from their brewery unless you hear about it. I know Canterbury has a bottle or two out there here and there, but it's kind of those destination breweries, so it's really worth checking out this panel discussion. They're kind of and they're excellent people. I can attest, but
Yeah, we really tried to get a little bit of everything with that panel. You know, obviously Tuckerman's has been around for a long time. They're kind of one of the leaders with the resurgence of breweries in New Hampshire, and also getting Schilling, again, another, you know, a newer brewery, but also kind of a brew pub, and then doing having Canterbury come as like a nano brewery. So really trying to get the perspective from everybody.
It's awesome. And then hosted by Sean's favorite person, Kelly Brown.
I like Kelly Brown. Good
No, I
dude.
know. That's what I'm saying. Because I think it was the last. Where were we? Where were we at the Red Hook Fest? We were like, oh my God, it's Kelly Brown.
Yeah, well, I listen to terrestrial radio while you don't, so that's probably the difference.
Okay, well, first, hey, I'm a podcaster guy. I only listen to our voices every week. That's it. Okay. But Carla, you said you have a question?
Yeah, just that it's kind of a half comment, half question. First, you said before, you know, anybody can put on a brew fest, but I just wanted to say that I appreciate that there are actually parts in here that are designed to teach you how to taste beer. Like, it sounds like there's a couple of, you know, sessions that are really about that. And I'm just wondering if, you know, if that's, you know, come from, you know, your experience in, you know, how you go through a beer festival, or if that's just a general thing that you kind of wanted to, you know, get people a little bit more educated before they go into this kind of free-for-all, you know, tasting that everybody else does, you know, in their fest.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, definitely when we were kind of thinking about these workshop topics and ideas, it definitely was, I guess, in a selfish way, some things that coming from, you know, a festival goer's perspective or my own perspective, things that I thought would just be really cool to hear somebody talk about and would be neat to participate in. But we also did take some input from, again, working closely with Butch and Garrett and the guys at Woodstock Brewery and trying to get some ideas from them as far as, you know, keynote, getting Peter involved, and also with the panel discussion, and definitely leaned on them a little bit for it, and just the rest of our committee. I mean, it takes a lot to put this whole event together, and we have a really dedicated committee. I have a couple of their staff members, Colleen and Mark, who are just critical in making this thing happen. So it was a lot of input from everybody, but we definitely tried to pick topics and pick things that would be applicable.
Most excellent. And then after that, it's there's lunch, of course. Then the home is a home brewing workshop from the Winnie Brew Crew. I must say I'm not familiar with Sean. Are you familiar?
I am not. Must be a homebrew club or homebrew shop.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So they're homebrew club in the Lakes region. So Winnie Brew Crew guys and gals, they're all great. They've been participating in our festival, just coming to the tasting and doing homebrew demo live on site. They have this huge, if anybody's been up to Lake Winnipesaukee during ice fishing season, they have, it must be at least 15-foot tall wooden beer bottle / Bob House.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's right in Meredith Bay all winter long, but they actually bring that up so people can check out the beer bottle Bob House. And but as far as the workshop goes, they're definitely going to be able to hopefully do like a general overview, but again, depending on the group that we get for the workshop, we're kind of hoping that they're able to go into more of like a beyond the basics type workshop and give people some more in-depth ideas and kind of, you know, common mistakes and things like that to kind of expand on people's knowledge.
That's too funny. I'm looking at the giant wooden beer bottle right now, and it is very entertaining to look at. I think it's awesome.
So that goes from, 12:30 all the way right up till the VIP session that starts at 3 o'clock.
It's that workshop goes, we're going to try and wrap that up by about 2, and that'll kind of end the educational pieces, and then that gives people a little bit of time to freshen up and get ready, and then head down to Main Street right in Lincoln to get ready for the tasting event. We're dubbing it Saturday Night on Tap.
Now, how do you when you're from the conceptual building the Brewfest, how do you separate what you're gonna have for the VIP versus the general admission portion of the fest?
You mean like the perks?
Yeah.
You know, that's a really good question. Kind of. I mean, as far as different beers and things that are going to be available, that's really up to the breweries. If they have certain beers that they want to have on tap during that hour, we definitely encourage everybody to do that. We leave it up to them, and there's several that do offer that. But then as far as what the actual ticket entails, we're really just trying to give that group that's more for the diehards. I mean, it's obviously a lot of people go to beer festivals that just want the experience of it. They want to be able to try all these different beers, hang out with their friends, listen to some good music, and just have a good time. But then you definitely have the core group of people who want to come and legitimately taste some of those new beers or rare beers, and that's really the opportunity. That's their hour to kind of have that time and not have lines and have the time to be able to talk to the reps from each of the breweries. So I think that's really the biggest benefit there, is that they get in an hour earlier than the general admission ticket holders. And we actually, I should say too, we only we sell a limited quantity of those. We only sell 250, and as of about an hour ago, those had sold out. So, oh, sorry.
How much are the tickets, by the way?
The VIP, well, right now the general admission tickets are $40.
Okay. And then when does it last until the whole Saturday Night on Tap?
We close down at 8, so VIPs get in at 3. Yeah, VIPs get in at 3, and general admission gates open at 4.
Jeez, that's not a bad time so that's a good price for that length of a fest. And Carla was saying in the chat, you guys have over 30 breweries so far listed on this. Some of which are new to the scene. I mean, I see One Love out of Dover, which just opened up, months ago. You have a good array of brewers. Was it tough organizing all these brewers to show up under one tent?
They're great. I mean, it's this time of year is just crazy. I think for summer production, the spring leading into the summer production is crazy for everybody, and then it's like festival season come early May, so it's crazy for them, and they're really patient with us and understanding. We're calling them, emailing them, tracking them down to get all their information, get their logos, get their beer list, get all of our ducks in a row so that we can make sure that everything goes smoothly. So we definitely understand where they're at, and like I said, they're really understanding of us bugging them a lot.
It's great. Sean, Mike, Norm, Carla, any picks here? 'Cause I know Carla's got a couple comments on here that are worthy of discussion, even on this. You were talking about the newest Great Rhythm logo. Carla, she's muted. Oh, she's muted. Well, I think she's frozen. But Carla's questioning the new, and it's a good time to bring it up, may as well. Great Rhythm rebranded themselves, and their beers are starting to show up as of today around at least around Portsmouth, maybe everywhere else. But you can go to the New England Brewfest site, see their new logo, and Sean, what they have. Their Resonation, their Amber, and an IPA.
Oh, yep. So it's Amplified Amber, along with Hopstock IPA.
Most excellent. So you're going to be seeing them in a whole new way, not just bringing Resonation, but bringing 2 new beers to the party, which is pretty sweet. And then
are they still brewing at Ipswich?
Was that?
Yes.
Are they still brewing at Ipswich?
Yes.
Sean, what do you know about new brewery location? Anything?
Everything's on top secret under that one.
Okay, so that's a yes. And no, and then she was asking about the Stark Brewing Company, which, as some know, is Millie's Tavern in bottles. So check it out.
Alyssa, I'm curious if there's any potential breweries on that list that you might be able to share that will be coming soon to be added on there.
Right now, oh God, you're really testing me. To the best of my knowledge, we were updated. I'm pretty sure that what's on there right now is on there. We, I think, a week or 2 ago, had pretty much maxed out our space. Even though the festival's outdoors, we still have to fence it, and we are still limited in the amount of space we can take. So we've pretty much maxed out as far as the number of participants we can have, and I think we're at like 33 or 34, and that's pretty much. And for a one session, 4 or 5 hours, I guess, if you get in with the VIP, I think that number of breweries is plenty. More than that, and I think it's almost disappointing as a festival goer because you can't. It's almost like, oh, great, there's 50 to choose from, but obviously I can't take everybody's.
Yeah, I think even with 4 hours for somebody, you at least be able to try 1, if not 2, of each of these breweries, and be okay. Or if you wanted to try each of them, to your point, it's not 140 breweries in 3 hours.
Right.
And for people who've attended this before, I see that there's at least 3 or 4, maybe more, new people who've never participated in any of the previous years that you've had.
Yeah, we have. I was really excited this year at the amount of participation that we've gotten from so many new breweries, and especially the New Hampshire breweries. I mean, 603 Brewery's new to us, well, and I guess newer to the state, but 603, Canterbury, God.
One Love.
Schilling, Henniker, One Love, yeah.
Yeah, Henniker came last year, even like Moat, with their construction and everything going on with their expansion, they haven't been able to participate for about 3 or 4 years now. So to have them back is just awesome. We're really stoked with the lineup for this year.
That's awesome.
And they're going to be bringing the hells.
Yes, good. Thank you, because this is my last can, so I'm out until the festival. Now, during the festival, is there food available?
Yep. Yeah, we have a couple of different like snacky type vendors. But then we also have regular food for purchase. There's anything from salads, sandwiches. You've kind of got your more pub grill food, burgers, Philly cheesesteaks, that sort of thing. But they do a really great job with the food. I was, even for running around trying to get everything organized last year, I was able to grab a quick bite, and so the food has worked out really well for us in the end. And even for someone who might not necessarily like what's being offered, where it's over at 8 o'clock, you still have plenty of time, and it's early enough that we have, 25, 30 different restaurants within Lincoln and Woodstock that you can go out to afterwards to grab a bite.
Or just go hang out with Garrett and Butch at the Woodstock, which is probably where I'm sure everyone kind of tends to migrate anyway. If you hadn't have enough Woodstock beer by that time, you can probably smell it brewing that day.
Yeah, you didn't have it at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
If you want to go to Woodstock, the Woodstock Brewery afterwards, definitely get there early.
Duly noted. I'll put a coat on a bar seat.
Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Carla, were you looking for number of attendees? Can she hear me? Is that?
Yeah, she was. She must have a karaoke person behind her.
This year we're anticipating around 3,000. So, it's a comfortable number for the amount of space we have. It's kind of the sweet spot.
It's a good size. That is like that sweet spot size.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing we found too, and I mean, Sean, you kind of mentioned this last year with the weather, and especially with the VIP hour, it's not like there's always necessarily 3,000 people all at once. People kind of trickle in, and then some people will leave around 6 or 7, call it a night, go grab dinner. So it definitely is a comfortable size. I mean, the lines aren't that long. It's doable.
I highly recommend. Just from traveling up there last August with my wife. I don't know what the hell we were doing. Oh, we were just going to Woodstock, but I do recommend Hobo Golf, which is down the way. So if you're not spending time doing the Brew You or anything, there's other things to do there. That's just my only suggestion. Everything else is beer. But if you want to just
don't hike any of the mountains.
There's two things I know really well and wrote books on: mini golf and beer. So no, but. Let's go down the line real quick, and we'll pick a brewery to look out for this fest, and then we can let Alyssa go have her night back, because I think if we didn't make everyone thirsty, we might have just sold out the festival, which would be pretty cool. But Sean, who are you looking for? Who do you recommend for those that are watching or listening to go give a taste?
Well, it'd be wrong if I didn't say what I was drinking.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I'm kind of locked in too. All right. Yeah.
So I recommend visiting 603 Brewery. They're probably gonna have at least 4 or 5 different beers on available. So.
Do they have any new beers that are out that go not that are in the cans, but that are just might show up at the fest? Any special treats?
It's very possible. This Friday they're releasing a beer called CCL, which is in honor of Concord's 250th anniversary. It's a lighter, hoppier beer. So they may make an appearance. It only just got it's only going available this Friday, so that's a possibility.
I have a better name in the chat room, so.
And Summertime should be out too. Summer, S-U-M-M-A. Yeah.
Nice. Most excellent. Norm, I don't know if you're making it up or not, but if you were attending the fest, what table would you be harassing?
Probably Schilling. You've been talking about them for weeks. I finally got a chance to try them this past weekend, and making fantastic beers. I mean, very traditional to style and excellent stuff, and I want to try more of their stuff. So that'd probably be my first, second, third, fourth, depending how many beers I had stock. Because
it's like having your father's approval, or someone that you really look up to's approval. Once Norm likes a beer that you like, I was so nervous. I'm like, Norm's gonna hate it. He's gonna think, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Well, that's why I was hoping you were gonna be at the beer festival, just in case I didn't like Schilling, so I could smack you.
That's why Mike and I were lickety split. We were calling AAA by that time, so no offense, Mike.
Yeah, Schilling, if you're going to that beer fest, make sure Schilling's early stop for the day.
Mike, now this is kind of going to be a loaded question. I hope you answer it right. What's the table that you're going to visit most often during the fest?
I would have to be stopping by Brian and I's table to check out our book, New Hampshire Beer, get it signed, shake hands with legends, and go on and enjoy your day. But if I'm not at that table, which I'll probably be at the table for most of it, I will be visiting our good friends, the hometown heroes at Schilling, who we got to see at ACBF this weekend. Big shout out to them. And probably going to be thrown down with Rick at Flying Goose, and also our good friends at Moat. Basically things that I can't get in Massachusetts that I just look forward to every time I visit New Hampshire. So,
which makes me feel happy as someone from New Hampshire when people come to my state to drink the beer that they can't get in Mass, because it's usually the other way around. I'm searching for those beers I can't get in New Hampshire. So,
like England and stuff.
See, I'm gonna ruin your day and recommend that you visit a couple of Maine breweries. So that's just.
Go back to Maine.
Well, all right. The only reason I want to mention it is that Baxter Brewing's going to be there, and this past weekend I went up there and tried their newest beer, which is called Daughters of Poseidon, made with oysters. Awesome. Not sure if they're going to be pouring that one, but also they have one of my favorite summer beers, which is called Swelter. It used to be called Celsius. Because it's not just, hey, I brewed an ale and I stuck a little bit of lemon in it and called it a summer beer. It's like got kaffir lime leaves in it. It's really well done, and it's a good one. If it happens to be hot that day, go check that out. But as you know, I'm a big fan of all these guys. But don't skip Great Rhythm. Great Rhythm has some their Resonation Pale Ale is awesome, nice hoppy thing. So those are my little recos.
Make sure you tell everyone that's behind you that to go to the fest. I mean, we haven't had so many live
I'm
viewers.
not sure it's the same type of people.
Oh boy! All right, I'll do a quick shameless plug as well. Mike and I will be there, but I recommend stopping at our booth first, getting a book, and then going to each of the New Hampshire Brewers and having them sign that book. Boom! Yeah. It's like one of those Disney World autograph books.
That's a good idea.
Way more adult.
There will be room at the top of each chapter heading too for you to sign.
And there's a spot where if Alyssa's there is a shout out to the New England Brewfest that she can sign. Sean, you'll find him. He can sign his part, and whoever has the most signatures can just
enjoy it. Enjoy it. Not getting shit. There's no.
Yeah, right. We're not giving away anything yet.
We might give away a free koozie.
Ooh, all right. That's a challenge. And don't bring a thick Sharpie because these pages might be thin. We don't know yet. Actually, no, are the pages thin? Do you sign the pages or the back of the cover, Normie?
You sign the page with the title on it.
Oh, you're so wise.
So much to learn from you, Norm.
So much to learn. But Alyssa, I'm sure you'll be there. Is there any beer you're looking forward to trying?
Well, technically, I'm not allowed to try any beer.
No. Never mind.
But that being said, I have become a really big fan of Henniker Brewing Company ever since they started coming last year. A really big fan of their amber. So if I could, I would probably be hanging out there. And then, of course, got to give it up for all of our friends, our hometown heroes at the Woodstock Brewery.
Most excellent, and a very political and wise answer. No, but it is also true. It wouldn't be in Woodstock if Woodstock sucked. So.
Right.
But do we have any final questions from the panel here? Anything?
I think I'm all set.
Cool. Well, Alyssa, we really appreciate you coming on. And again, I have put all the information. We have a show notes already going. It has links to the Facebook and the website for where you can get tickets for the Brewfest. And again, that is Friday and Saturday, but the Beer Fest is Saturday, June 28th. The VIP is sold out, so the general admission starts at 4. It's anybrewfest.com. Anything else you want to say, Alyssa, before we let you go?
Just thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun. We're looking forward to having you guys up at the festival. That'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, it's our 10th anniversary. We're trying to do it up big. So we're really looking forward to it, and can't wait to have everybody up. 3 weeks.
Awesome. Well, let's raise a glass, everybody, to Alyssa and the Any Brewfest, and hope to see you guys there. And if you see any one of us here, give us a high five. They're free. Cheers.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
Cheers.